aren't.
Hello, we are live.
Hello.
Hi. So we're just going to get into a conversation today. This is Ash.
Hello.
She's like my best friend. But we wanted to talk today about Spirit School, which is open for enrollment right now. So that is my online psychic development course, and Ash took the class last year. So I just wanted her to talk about their experience in the class, and we're going to answer some questions. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to have you just introduce yourself.
Okay.
Just say a little bit about yourself and why you decided to take that class.
Well, I am Ash Hay. I am an artist living and working here in Santa Rosa. I have a love of with plant allies. I love plants. I have a very magical friends, and so I was really excited about Spirit School. It was right at the beginning of quarantine. I think I was in your first one. So it was right at the beginning of quarantine, and I had a lot of feelings, and it was just presented as, like, I think the perfect opportunity to kind of go deep and really investigate my intuition, which is what I thought was really exciting about it, and we did a lot of that. I'm a person with some cute mental illness, so having things in my life like meditation, sound healing, stuff of that nature, plant medicine, are definitely things that I use to bring me back to myself. And when I kind of come back and I've got questions about, if I've ever disassociated or gone off on a tangent, and then I come back and I want to retouch on some of the things I've experienced, using meditation, plants, those kind of things are always good tools to have in my tool belt. And so Spirit School was a great opportunity to hone tools that I already had and learn some new ones.
Amazing. So I'm going to have Ash answer some questions for me. So I'm going to consult my notes. But basically, I just want you to tell us a little bit about your experience with your intuition. So that could be, you can take it as far back as you want.
I was a young lord. Oh.
I know that you have a very interesting story. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about your relationship to your intuition and how that might have shifted or expanded during or after the class.
Well, I kind of came to the class with a lot of different hopes, but I did have a specific goal, which was I've been struggling with anxiety for a really long time. So I have kind of, at that point, and kind of still struggle with that, kind of distrusting my inner voice, because so many times I had experienced that my inner voice was only setting me up to, we
were literally just talking about this 10 minutes ago. So it's still coming up.
Yeah, I thought that what my inner voice was only doing was fucking sabotaging me, making me feel bad, and I was scared to listen to it and scared to follow something like my intuition, because in my mind I assumed it's only going to tell me bad things, and I'm just going to be more scared all the time. I have memories being a little kid and not being that scared. And then somewhere along the way, I just got really fucking scared all the time. And all of the things that come from being a person feeling fear, I would say 96% of my existence. On some level that varies. So I was in one breath scared of my intuition, and in another breath I kind of believed I didn't really have it. I felt like I only have this fear voice, and I thought that I would never be able to kind of lift that shell off of it and find something that I could really connect to and believe. And I have had such a deep desire to find that voice, that intuition voice. Granted, I don't always find it still to this day. There are days where I'm like, hello, and I don't really get anything back. But I also felt like things like meditation and stuff weren't accessible to me because I kind of don't have the best attention span. And I was just like feeling like, all of these tools that looked so juicy and delicious. I was like, am I ever going to be able to play with those? Newsflash, I am. So, the class was great for many reasons. I loved the sound healing meditations. I mean, now, after I've done the class, I was doing it a little bit before, but since taking the class and stuff, I've really leaned on things like just pulling up a meditation video, like a sound meditation video, or a recording that you sent me, or something, or like doing a meditation multiple days in a row, and just doing as best as I can. And I have seen the difference of like doing it repetitively. It's like literally anything else in the world. You practice it, it gets better.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I think it's really easy to only believe that we can connect in this one certain way. Like, oh, I'm sitting down and I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah.
Or I am doing yoga or something like that. So I think it's helpful for people to get these tools. Like, oh, I can do a meditation or the sound healing or breath work or these like accessible things. Mm-hmm. But then also seeing how the intuition and like your psychic guidance shows up or has already been showing up in so many different ways that we just didn't like recognize yet. Like, for you, I know you're a visual artist, so a lot of things come through in that way.
Right.
Where you might just view it as an idea before, but like, where did these ideas come from?
Right. It was really one of the things that was really helpful in the class was kind of having a sounding board of like you as the teacher and as my peers that were in the class with me. Someone just to give you a little bit of affirmation and permission to be like, this is how I connected. I mean, when I was, it was kind of the beginning of a practice for me at spirit school. Someone to be like, am I doing it right? And to have people there to say, one, there really is no wrong way to do it if you're feeling the connection. And two, yes, you are doing it right. And three, here's for the most part, here's some people who've been doing it like that already. Like, it's been done like that before.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool is like about getting like a group together too. Like, is being able to see, okay, like for me, I perceive things a lot through like, hear like sounds, information, or physically through my body. But then other people are doing the meditation and they're seeing like visual trips on acid. And so I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but I like it. So it's really cool to see how people can all perceive the same information in vastly different ways.
And it is kind of like this is not really the right word, but sampling platter of different kinds of meditations. It's not like you taste them all and you pick one. Like, you try a bunch of things and probably a lot of them will work because like they all have their own kind of special magic and connection in their own way. But it was really a great experience to try different things. There was like a mirror meditation that we did that I loved. Like you said, like I kind of connect a lot better with my eyes open.
Yeah.
And so having the permission to do stuff where my eyes are open, that was really helpful to me. Now I kind of am at this place where I know I don't necessarily need permission, even though sometimes I seek it out just because it feels good. But the candle meditation. Oh, and something that I was also experiencing. Something that I was also experiencing at the time was my Bubby had died just 2 months before the class, and that was such a deep experience I was having in so many ways. And I had gone from this really concentrated month of like connection and grieving that was just happening because the experience had just happened, and I was there with family sitting Shiva, so there was all of this like kind of spiritual intuitive connection that was happening whether I wanted to or not because it was powerful.
Wait, someone just commented, Grace, a crane literally just landed in my backyard. Let's go.
Cranes!
Yes!
The crane gang.
The crane magic. Yeah, crane gang. Thank you for telling us that.
We love cranes.
Wow, that gives me chills.
But yeah, so I had experienced this really like maybe oversaturation of that kind of energy that I've never felt before. And then it was kind of petering out as I came back home. And then these tools were giving me kind of avenues to like re-pierce that veil with control.
Well, and I remember she was coming through your dreams too.
Yeah, and she still does.
I remember that dream too. You're talking about trying to read your text messages in your dreams.
I do. I still
Can
get
you talk about that?
I call them my dream texts, and it is the weirdest thing. It happens right before I wake up. Sometimes I can see the words, sometimes I can't. Usually I just see the name, and it's usually hers. It's just like the field is black, and there's a gray box like the old iPhone messages, like on the old iPhones. And it just says like Bubby Heart or Sarah Heart, and her name is Sarah.
I love that.
And yes, I get other things too. The other day I got a message from her, and my phone now, I have like a stylus that I can write like notes. So there's like 1.5 million like cranked out ideas that I've written in my sleep. But I get a lot of messages from her. Drawings. I get drawings from her.
Yeah.
And so, having this community and all these people and all of these things to help support what I have found to be really powerful medicine and magic for me, which is drawing and writing and just kind of like going with the pen, and then the pen is like a wand and it just like spits out the magic through me. Like, it's great. I love it. Sometimes it's intense, but there's also that community there to, I feel supported and safe. And if anything is super scary, I'll probably tell you about it.
Yeah. There's nothing to be worried about.
All hail Bubby the Great. Hell yeah, Bubs forever.
So on point. I've been having wild dreams lately. Yes, same. My dreams have been really intense lately. I've been having dreams about people I haven't thought about in a long time, so I feel like it's like closing out these old ass cycles. I've not thought about this person in years, but why are you in my dream?
I have been having dreams that I'm doing caretaking for...
We're talking about Spirit School, which is my psychic development online workshop, which is open for enrollment right now.
Yes, and you should enroll. If you like talking about dreams, you definitely should enroll.
And you can find more info. Link in my bio. It's on my website.
Drink water. Look at the product here. Mm-hmm. The product is water.
Yes.
So recently, this is funny because this was totally something that I learned how to do in Spirit School. Recently, I had a dream where my Bubby and my partner's grandmother were kind of switching places in my dream. I kind of woke up with a yucky feeling just because I was like, there is no replacing Bubby. There is nothing there. And it kind of gave me I felt a weird kind of guilt, kind of. I took that energy. I decided today I'm going to connect with Bubby directly. I went to the beach. I lit a candle and I stared into the candle, which is the practice that you taught me in Spirit School. And having that practice to lean on that I know because I've done it multiple times before, that makes me feel connected to all things ephemeral and magic and stuff. It helped put me in the spot.
I love that. That's so cool. I was just thinking about doing a candle spell tonight. I haven't done one in a while. Wait, so Rachel says, interested if you all want to talk about thoughts about inviting specific people into your dreams. Sure. I feel like I have actually done that. I know Rachel knows this person, but I did that with Mick one time, and we were doing that for a while, trying to get into each other's dreams. I haven't tried that in a long time though, so I feel like it would be more successful now than it was then, because I don't think I knew what I was doing. But I think, as far as spirits, I think that's an amazing way for them to come through in your dreams. So, if someone your Bubby or someone that you loved has crossed over, asking them to come through in your dreams and just send you, a message. And it might be something that you might not understand. The other day I asked for a message, and it came through, in a number. Mm-hmm. And I actually got a text in the dream, and the text was, this number. Then I looked up the number, and then it had, some meaning for me. Right. So they might show up depending. Okay, I paused, so let me know if you guys can still hear us. But, what was I saying?
You got the text.
Oh, I
the
got a
number.
text in my dream, and then it was like a number, and then I looked at the number, and the number had a message for me.
I've been having... Okay, I heard somewhere that you never have dreams about a face you haven't seen. Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard that too, and I've also heard I heard this, I don't know where, probably on YouTube or something, but like even if you're just walking on the street and you like catch someone's eye, like you know them from like a past life or something.
The main frame.
Oh yeah, and that info gets downloaded into our dreams.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, I'm getting a dream, and the face is like some random guy from like French class in 7th grade, but it's really like my cousin or something.
I have a lot. I definitely experience a lot of like messaging and magic in my dreams, and what I experience a lot is I have these variables, like a handful of places, a handful of faces that interchange, and it's not necessarily, like, the content doesn't necessarily match the place. Like, I grew up going to the summer camp, so I have a lot of dreams about this that take place in this camp. And sometimes I can kind of connect the dots and be like, oh, when I'm having a dream here, it really is a dream about feeling, like, free of, like, control. Because it was where my parents weren't. So I felt, like, really free when I was at camp.
If Rachel and Mel want to try to get into my dream, or like me in the dream world, I will do that with you guys.
Yeah.
Text me about it.
Invitation open. I feel like if there are people who you can't see yet due to quarantine reasons, maybe a good way to hang out is in the dream space.
Camp is a liminal space.
Camp
It really
is.
is. It's like that place of like infinite possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Infinite possibility is sunscreen.
Yes, let's try it. I'm so down.
Yeah.
Let me know when. Usually I'll ask like my body, myself to stay in my body when I dream. Because sometimes I feel like I'll be like doing intense work in my dreams rather than sleeping. So if you feel like you're traveling too much, sometimes it's just asking that permission to stay inside your body.
And it's good to like set yourself up for success if you're going into dreaming with an intention, I would say. Like,
if you're
water.
asking the spirits to come through, like either sing out loud before bed, like a little prayer, or like writing it down or something like that.
Yeah. Don't be scrolling on TikTok till 3 a.m. if you're trying to...
Yeah, don't look at me.
Me too, it's bad.
R.I.P.
Hey!
So let me ask you, Ash, I think you probably already said something along these lines, but if you were to say your favorite part of this class, Spirit School, and if you missed it, Ash took the class last year, what would you say your favorite part of the class was?
I think the library of meditations was... It's hard to pick one thing, but the sound meditations that you provided in the class were... they were just, like, powerful, and they were kind of what I needed in that moment. So they really showed up for me. And having the classmates there to come together every week. Because it was also, like, we bound together. We knew what was going on in each other's lives and what we were focusing on. So I felt by, like, just knowing what my classmates' intentions were while I was seeking out my own, like, we were boosting each other's.
Yeah, and I really feel like that is so powerful, like, a group intention. Like, whether or not it's like, oh, we all coming together to set this in one intention, or your individual intentions, but like having that group dynamic, it's like you're all building that energy up, so it's like a magnification.
Right. Reiki is a part of Spirit School. You get some juicy Reiki.
Yeah, I'm not teaching Reiki. I am talking about like energy healing. I have some like videos on that. That's just about like general energy healing and like what is energy. But I will be, each week on the live classes, I do like a group Reiki healing ceremony. So the end of the classes are like 30 minutes of energy healing using Reiki. And then everyone gets like a 30-minute one-on-one session with me where we do Reiki or we do a reading depending on what the person wants. Hello. But yeah, I'm not teaching Reiki. Well, yeah, I do teach Reiki, but it's not included in spirit school, but I use Reiki. And that's a large part of the course, is like releasing blocks of fear or doubt or shame, all those things that hold us back from connecting. Like Ash was saying in the beginning, like anxiety or fear is like, it can hold such
It's like a casing.
Yeah, it's like a belt around you where you feel like you can't connect, because that's like taking place of where your intuition would be. And it can be helpful because it does give us information, but we want it to come from a place of like joy and not fear. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of that. And then we do practice exercises like to work on the different psychic senses. And then there's a bunch of video material. We work with different affirmations and journal prompts and meditations. So it's kind of like what is it called? Like a buffet of just a ton of information. So it's 8 weeks of live classes, and then all the material is like, I would say about 10 or 12 weeks worth of material.
Yeah, you get a lot of like extras, a little bit more than you can do while you're in class, I would say. But you get the information for like, I don't know how long.
Until the technology doesn't allow anymore.
Yeah.
Until there's like a new upgrade or something in the computer, the internet.
I just think like the like energetic pull of all of us doing the class together was so juicy and fun. I was sitting in the classes like outside in my yard, and every time I was in a class, like the snake came by, a bird landed on my computer.
We too, like literally everyone in the class saw snakes. Like I saw like a dead snake when I was walking. I saw 2 dead snakes. It was like all at the same time too. So it's really like just almost like a vortex of synchronicity, which I think is really cool. And it's just, for me, teaching the class is just to give people a place where they feel safe, and so they can like gain trust in themselves to grow and expand however is most exciting to them. So it's kind of presenting you a bunch of different topics, and then what's most exciting for you can continue to dive in afterwards. And it's like I create almost like a syllabus or a schedule for people so that they can continue doing this work even though the class is only 8 weeks, because it's a lifelong thing. Hannah. Oh, she signed up. Oh, I'm so excited. That's going to be awesome.
You're going to have a great time.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah.
Yes, when you have a container, it amplifies what comes through. I think so too. Like anytime I've done an online class or an in-person class, I feel like I gain so much just from being around other people's energy, and
it's a beacon.
Yeah, it's like a little lighthouse of joy. But I'm really excited. We said this was going to be like 20 minutes, but I think it's been longer than that. But let me see what else I want to ask you before we close out.
I would say, like, if you're a person, any kind of person, if you're a person who does meditation and sound healing and energy healing a lot, it is a good opportunity to, like, bring that practice to a group of other people and, like, share that, like, that energy and momentum you've collected. Because, like, what's the point of, like, you know, being, like, full of, like, magic and energy if you're not gonna, like, share it? Because it feels so good when you're not sharing, like, spill your beans, but, you know what I mean? But, or if you're someone who, you know, isn't extremely, like, practiced or doesn't do it all the time, like, this is an opportunity to maybe see if there's something else out there that speaks to you, or just dip your toes back in the water, or feel that little zap.
Yeah, it's definitely for all levels of experience. Like, some people who sign up for the class are doing readings for people or to practice energy healing as, like, a profession, but that does not need to be your path at all. It's not like, oh, I'm teaching you how to do this work for others. It's more about learning to connect for yourself, and then if you so choose, down the line, you can have those tools and that knowledge to keep learning to then work with others.
What did I put on my Instagram today? Portals, friendship, and fun.
Yeah, lots of portals, friendship. Yeah, and I think it's been really cool to see, like, what people are doing now and using that information for themselves, and like seeing how that has expanded people's like ability to connect with themselves.
I'm just going to take this moment to gas up my friend here. Grace is a great teacher. Like, I can't say that enough. Grace is such a wonderful teacher. Makes, accessing these things, like, fluid and fun, and has all of these tools, and is just, like, it's such a natural environment to share and experience. Different kinds of energy through Grace, and meditations that she does is chef's kiss. I love being able to have that stuff to go back on, and also being able to call her up and be like, let's go, let's ride. But you're gonna have a great time with Grace as your teacher in Spirit School. I cannot recommend it enough.
Thank you so
much. Tens across the board.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that. And I think it's cool, like, to be able to have you, who's a close friend of mine in the class, like, and other people that have been my friends take the class and have a good experience. That shows me I'm really doing a good job, because it's, like, separating the relationship we already have and being able to, like, still hold that space without it being, like, we're just kikiing the whole time. There's some kikiing. But yeah, we have like a group chat too during the class. So if cool synchronicities come up, or you do a reading for yourself, or you want to do a reading for someone in the group, that is like a space that people can connect throughout the course, and like just send pictures and stuff like that. And then every week you get an email that has all the course material. And then at the end of the class, I just send out an email that's everything together, so you can continue to just go back, put that email, and just continue to go back to those practices as long as you want. And yeah, what else?
I know that some of my favorite meditations were the ones that like put me right to sleep. The sound healing, that's just like zonk. But what's great is that, I still was able to experience the healing while I was asleep. And then I would wake up feeling like, yes.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like we have to experience that at like a subconscious level for us to like integrate that.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of covered all my questions. Is there anything that you feel like anything you want to share about your practice now?
I would say the main thing about my practice now that wasn't there before is that I don't take it too seriously. I treat it kind of like how I treat my drawing practice, and then by doing that, understanding that the two are integrated, which is like, it's not precious. It's not like some precious thing that like you go in with a goal and you close your eyes, you do the meditation, and then your question is answered. It doesn't always work like that. In fact, I would say, in my experience, it rarely works like that. I would say the meditation practices, I lean on them when I know they're going to be helpful, or when I need some quiet, if that's the kind of meditation I'm going after. But then the magic kind of flows through all the time, all day.
Yeah.
And I learned in the class that there is not one way to meditate. There is not one way to experience energy healing. And that's kind of the only thing I take seriously about it now, which is that don't necessarily doubt the message because it's not coming through in a serious, professional enough container.
And oftentimes, especially if it's like a spirit that's connecting with you, like someone that you knew, like they're gonna come through in a way that you knew them. Like if they were a really silly person, they're not gonna come through like in like all white, like, hello my child, I have a message for you. Like it's gonna come through in the way that they would speak to you, or the way that you would see them in your eyes, or even smell them.
Yeah, and just like you're allowed to have like a fun, silly time with your energy practice. You're allowed to do it with your eyes open. You're allowed to move your body.
And mediums, like, traditionally, mediums and channelers, we, like, work with our eyes open. So, like, if that is something that you're comfortable with, that's totally a common practice.
I keep wanting to sing that Creed song, with arms wide open.
Exactly. And also, as far as logistics go, the class is open for enrollment right now, and it starts like mid-May. So we're having two classes, one on Sundays and one on Thursday evenings. All that information's on my website. And you can sign up, you can pay in full, or you can pay a deposit, and then I have payment plans. So if you pay a deposit, I just send you an email connecting with you about the payment plans. And then once people sign up for the class and everyone's enrolled, I send an email out. You should get the Zoom links automatically. All that stuff should be sent automatically. If there's any issues, you can always email me. But once class is like done, signed up, I send an email out to schedule everyone's one-on-one sessions. Because everyone will get 1 30-minute one-on-one with me.
Hell yeah.
I want to pull a card. I want you to pull a card for that.
I was literally just thinking about
Okay, you just talk to them for a second. I'll be right back.
That's so funny. I was just thinking about a practice that I do. Sometimes I'm really good. I do it every day. Sometimes I'm not, but that's okay. But basically what it is I do like a morning draw and a morning card pull. I put them together. So what I'm doing is I pull a card and I let that inspire like my morning hour drawing, writing session, which is something I try to do first thing in the morning. Where like it's the juices flowing. So that's funny that Grace was like, I want you to pull a card, because in my head I was thinking about that practice. But here Grace comes with a deck. I was telling him about my pick and draw, my draw and draw card drawing thing that I do sometimes, where I draw a card in my sketchbook every day.
And I think that's an awesome practice. And it's kind of like, essentially it's like automatic writing or automatic drawing. You're like asking the spirit to come through you. So which one do you want to use?
Oh, I'm going to do this one. I love, this is Spirit Speak, right?
Yes, Mary Evans. This is her deck. I love her.
I have 2 Mary Evans decks. I love Mary Evans. This one is cute.
Yeah, these are oracle cards, so I'm gonna have Ash give us a message.
Okay. Let's see. Just calling in those ancestors and guides, asking them to guide me to pull the card that I gotta see right now, that we gotta see right now. Fear, which is, to me, is just, well, we were talking about fear earlier, so it's making me think about how I like to talk in a voice that's like, the fear was there and then it's gone, which is not really what I'm experiencing. It's kind of a wish, a hope, but that the fear isn't, like, there's no morally bad or good part to the fear. It exists for a reason, whether it's stagnant from something that was protecting me long ago, it doesn't protect me anymore, or something that I need to be aware of. But I don't need to be mad at the fear. Just gotta love it and tell it to, don't stand in the way where you don't belong.
Yeah, and I think, like, it's feeling that fear and, like, feeling it and trusting yourself to know when you should just, like, feel it and do it anyway, and when you should trust that, like, what you're learning about being able to differentiate between our anxiety, our fear, and what is intuition.
I also am looking at this card and seeing that all of the eyes are open, and I don't know, maybe that has something to do with my desire to keep my eyes open.
Yeah. And I think, like, sometimes what we don't know can freak us out even more. So keeping our eyes closed and is like something that might be fearful or scary might like show up for us more. So when we have our eyes open, we are like, we're keeping almost like a safety blanket. But once we can clear out our like vision, our psychic vision, even if our eyes open, we're still gonna see through everything.
That is yeah, it's that the anxiety is like, when anxiety and fear are like butt buddies. The anxiety is like, be prepared for the worst, ready for the worst. Don't even look, just get ready for this horrible fucking tsunami. And the reality is, keep your eyes open and look. If there's a tsunami, you'll see it. You know, trust. That trust is a really good balm for the fear. And a great way to build up trust with your intuition is to try listening to.
Yeah, and practice. Like, like everyone's gonna have a different way that they connect.
Right. I liked what you said about the fear. You gotta listen to it and then decipher where to go.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you.
I'm excited for all of you out there who are going to be starting spirit school.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm excited since we did her class, I added some video modules, so that's going to be exciting.
Maybe I need to do spirit school again.
That's going to be exciting. Just more like informational stuff, because I tend to talk forever, so I'm trying to keep them into video so I don't just talk for the whole live calls. And we're going to be doing group healings on the live calls, and then practicing psychic development exercises. I do like little readings too for everyone, so you do get some psychic information. It's just pretty much everything that I'm about, all wrapped up into a little 8 week pretty much 8 month worth of material, but 8 weeks of class material. And I'm super excited, and yeah, that's about it.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Ash. Anything else you want to say?
Sign up for spirit school.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, you guys should check out Ash. Plug yourself.
Okay. You can see my art at Ash Hay Art on Instagram. You can see my shenanigans at The Real Rubius Hagrid on Instagram. That's about it. I love pickles, and my birthday's in 2 days.
Yes, amazing. Well, happy almost birthday, Pickle King.
Pickle gang.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to save this video, and if you are at all interested in spirit school, you can sign up. Link in my bio, gracelandon.com/spirit school. Also, what was the other thing? Oh, if you want to ask questions face-to-face, you can set up a free consultation. It's also on my website, so.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. We're going to go hang out.
We're going to eat dinner.
Eat food. Jealous?